On September 12th, for the East vs West 26 China event, we have Devon Larratt vs Ivan Matyushenko for the 115 kg left arm. This one is going to be interesting because it's the unhookable arm wrestler versus the untop rollable arm wrestler. I have only seen Vitaly top roll Ivan's left arm, but the last time I saw someone hook Devon Larratt's left arm, it was back in 2018 against Denis Siplenkov. Kamil also forced the inside move on Devon, but it was more because Devon knew that going outside is going to be much more worse for him. Then we have Bogdan Stoica versus Irakli Zirakashvili for the 95 kg right arm world title. I am once again going to doubt Bogdan Stoica. I think Irakli is the favorite. I hope Bogdan proves me wrong once again. Then we have Oleg Sharkasov versus Artur Makarov for the 77 kg East vs West world title match, the right arm world title match. Last time these two faced each other, Oleg defeated Artur pretty easily, pretty convincingly at the AMC tournament in 2024. Artur had defeated Oleg in 2022 and in 2018. These are the two matches that I have seen. So has Oleg already improved so much that Artur cannot catch up to him? But I've seen that Artur has also improved a lot in the recent years. This one is going to be a war. Valen Lowe versus Joseph Miranto in the 70 kg right arm match. Barbora versus Marta Volkova in the super heavyweight right arm world title match. Barbora is almost unbeatable. Let's see what Marta can do against her. Then we have Fia Rysek, who would seek to get her revenge against Risti Orazkhan. Risti easily defeated Fia at last year's WAF World Championship and it wasn't even close. This time, let's see if Fia can do something different to retain her world title. Philip Larson versus Richard Borman. These two have been going back and forth for months now. Finally, the match is confirmed. If Richard stays undefeated even after this event, if he's somehow able to defeat Philip Larson, then he's already knocking at the door of the top 15 rankings in the world in the super heavyweight division. Rustam Babayev versus Mayan Stringas. Mayan was looking good against Zurab Tavbaridze, but I think Rustam may be a different level. Let's discuss some of the details mentioned by Devon about the Vitaly Laletin match, the real reason why he was able to defeat Vitaly, and also Devon's comments about Denis Siplenkov, one of the rarest times in the recent days when Devon was seen praising Denis Siplenkov's abilities on the table. Devon and Levan both will be guests at East vs West 25 in Batumi, Georgia on August 1st. And there, Levan will make an announcement. He has already done that. He has called out Devon Larratt for a super match in December, which he already did at the previous East vs West event. And Devon has already declined that offer. So I'm not sure if too much is going to change now. But after returning from that event, Devon is going to start a serious preparation block. So the Vitaly Laletin match. Devon said that this time he had more free time than ever. His children are adult now. He got better training partners, he got more people helping him, he got decades of accumulated experience, and all of these things led to the best preparation of his entire career. And during the handshakes with Vitaly Laletin, Devon figured out that Vitaly is not that confident. He figured out that he's probably going to win the match. And that was not the case during their left arm match. In the left arm grip-ups, the air pulling, Vitaly was bullying Devon Larratt. So then Devon kind of realized that Vitaly is going to be too strong for him. But this time on the right arm, something was different, which gave Devon a lot of confidence. And although he became increasingly confident during the preparation of this match and also leading up to the match during press conference and even on the day before the match, he never truly believed that he would win easily. And that match was not easy. Many viewers think that it was easy, but it wasn't. Devon said that it was a really, really difficult match. He said that the match was incredibly exhausting. He felt like he was underwater. He felt like he couldn't breathe properly. He spent 2 weeks in bed. He completely crashed physically. He coughed constantly during that time. He compared himself to a candle running out of oxygen. That's how difficult that match was. And yet we got people saying that there is a big gap between number 2 and number 3. There is Levan, then there is Devon, and then there is an even bigger gap between Devon and number 3. Where is this gap? Why I didn't see that? If the gap is so much, Devon wouldn't have been pinned by Vitaly in the first round. Yes, a flash pin can happen. You can catch an athlete completely sleeping off the go. Maybe he underestimated you. But when there are multiple fouls, multiple stoppages, and the round lasts for minutes, and yet you got pinned, that kind of shows that there is basically no gap. Their strength level was almost equal, but Devon had more weapons in the arsenal. That's why he was able to gas Vitaly out. Vitaly had his top roll, and when it got exhausted, he was only left with a flop press. Devon still had his top roll, Devon had his hook, his side pressure, and even his own flop press. So none of Devon's weapons exhausted before the match finished. Devon said that the main reason he was able to defeat Vitaly was that Vitaly didn't want it bad enough.
I think, quite honestly, it meant more to me than it did to him. I don't think that he's, drawn a picture of me, putting stickers on my face, training for like all day long. For me, I don't think he's to that level of obsession.
After his wins, Devon is usually so generous that he starts making up excuses for his opponent's loss. And I think he's doing the same thing here as well. Vitaly clearly mentioned that when he trained 3 times a week, that's all he could do. Initially, he was thinking that he will train more if he gets serious. But if he is himself saying that he doesn't recover even after 3 days of training during a week, how can he train more than that? And then a fan on Aussie's live stream asked the famous question, who initiated the hook in that round? Because some people think that Vitaly initiated the hook. Some people think that it was Devon who forced the hook. Devon gave a very complicated answer. He said, it's complicated basically. Neither of them intentionally forced the hook. That's how the situation played out to be. Vitaly was controlling the shoulder position initially. Devon was controlling the hand. And as time and rounds passed, that's how the match evolved to be. So Devon himself doesn't really know who initiated the hook in that round. Devon said it was simply the next stage of that technical battle that they were having on the table that day. Devon also called out Vitaly for making a comment on Devon when Devon lost the left-handed match, and Vitaly said that you cannot change your style in 7 weeks. Devon said that he did exactly that. 7 weeks is a lot of time if you constantly and consistently work on a singular motion like he did on his side pressure and cupping in this exercise. And inside game for the preparation of this match, he did improve in those areas a lot, and that's how he was able to beat Vitaly. So for those 7 weeks, he mainly focused on cupping, hooking, supination, side pressure. And finally, Devon showed a lot of respect for Denis Cyplenkov. Devon believes that Denis can be a serious threat in the 115 kg division, and eventually he is going to compete there. And Devon initiated a discussion about who is a better, stronger athlete as of today, Ivan Matyushenko or Denis Cyplenkov. Keep in mind that Ivan is the current 115 kg champion, and Devon believes that Denis can defeat Ivan. As of now, in this shape, I don't think that Ivan will lose to Denis. I think Devon still has in his mind the 128 kg solid shape of Denis Cyplenkov that he was able to beat about 2-3 years ago. That Denis weighed a lot more than the 115 kg Denis that we are talking about here. But still, the way Denis arm wrestles with his right arm, it will be really difficult for Ivan to force the hook on him. And that's why Devon believes that fans are writing Denis off too early. Denis isn't finished. With a little more time, Denis could be extremely dangerous in the 115 kg division. Devon was also asked whether someone can become a full-time arm wrestler today or not. Devon said that it's not easy. Even today, it is going to be difficult. You will have to live somewhere that financially supports the sport, and even then, you will have to win consistently. You will have to be prepared to hustle a lot. I kind of agree and disagree with this statement at the same time. Yes, if you are planning on making a living strictly based off your matches, then it's going to be really difficult. But if you add the social media part, and also as Devon said, if you're living in a country that supports the sport, or you're living in a country that does not have that much expensive lifestyle, I think it's not that difficult to make a full-time living from arm wrestling. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.